Hello, my name is Shelly and I am the creator of this channel, Soulseerstarot, and today we're going to dive into a topic that is valid for many people. We are going to talk about the complexity of tarot and how to get the most out of the tarot readings that you are watching on YouTube. Now, this video may not resonate for you and it may resonate for you, so if it doesn't resonate with you, leave it behind. It's not for you. And if it does resonate for you, get ready to jump into an interesting conversation. Tarot is something that is so vast, and any of us and most of us that read tarot or share tarot publicly do so knowing that there is and are people and forces that are very against the tarot in general. There is a stigma that tarot is connected and related to things that are not of the highest good for our world, right? The monotheistic religions are generally very opposed to something such as tarot. So I wanted to dig into this a little bit because obviously I believe tarot holds a lot of value. And I choose to share it with my community because it is a tool that really helps us look at different energies and tap into different parts and aspects that spirit, God, source, creator may be trying to communicate to us that we wouldn't necessarily grasp without the use of the tarot, right? So this could also be oracle cards. This can be any type of divination tool. It's really important when you're taking part in a tarot reading. So even my readings, when you come on my channel and you're watching my reading, that first of all, you set your intention. What do you desire to get out of this reading? So when I watch a reading, I will ask God, source, spirit, creator. I always use those 4 prompts to connect to the divine. Allow me to see what is true for me and take what is useful for me and my path and the highest good of all around me. So I'm very clear that I'm going to watch this reading and I'm not going to necessarily take everything in like this message is 100% meant for me, because the reality is if we're watching a video on YouTube, this is a message coming through for a vast amount of people. And we're all on different places, phases, stages of our journey. And it would be ludicrous to think that every single part of the message is going to be for me. So watching the reading from a very neutral place. Now, here's another thing. If you have problems or issues or things going on with your world, making sure that you're not hyper focused on those particular aspects. When we come to a reading with deep concerns or insecurities or things happening in our world, and we're looking for the reading to confirm those things, oftentimes we don't get the value of the reading, because we are watching the reading to fix a problem, to confirm some sort of thought or idea. And really, for me, and this is what I suggest for you as well, if it resonates with you, is come being open to the reading and curious, because who knows what might come through that could be completely different than the confirmation bias that you're looking for. And a confirmation bias is when we have something going on internally and we're looking for something that directly says, yes, this is happening for you. Yes, you are correct. So oftentimes we can hear a message or a reading and be hyper focused looking for that confirmation bias. Now, this often is our mind, right? Because our mind is seeking solace. Our mind is seeking validation. So I encourage you to come to the readings in as much of a blank slate as you can. And this is where setting the intention is really important, right? God, source, spirit, creator, whoever and however you connect, please allow me to be neutral, to be open, and to pick up the divinity for me inside of this reading. Now, you're going to find on YouTube, there's so many different readers, and there's readers that have different beliefs, different backgrounds. There's readers that work only with God. There's readers that channel in certain beings. There's all sorts of readers. And I'm not here to say that any type of reader is right or wrong, good or bad, but I am saying use your discernment and feel into what feels right for you. The readers that I watch are very few, but they're very different. There's some that work just directly with God, and there's some also that work in the spirit realm in a more fluid and in a way that they're connecting to different essences of spirit, of God, of source. And some who connect to animals, connect to earth magic, all of these different things. So it's knowing what feels right for you. And a reader should encourage you and also call you out. Never watch, and again, this is my opinion, not fact, but never watch something and not want to be triggered at all. What this does, if we're watching something and as soon as we're triggered, we become hyper fixated on that trigger, or we start becoming combative with whatever the reader may say that triggers us. We want to watch that. When we feel triggered in a reading, it's usually there's something there for us to look at deeper. There's a wound that's coming up. There's something happening. Perhaps the reader is just a jerk and says something that is completely to you and, in your opinion, inappropriate. But oftentimes when we feel combative towards something that we're hearing, it's because there's something that's been triggered within us. So always respecting that the reader of the tarot that you're watching is just a person, is just a human. I'm sitting here and I'm building this channel. I'm just a person. So I'm not coming on saying I have 100% right facts, and I'm human and I'm interpreting energy. I'm interpreting feeling. I'm using my intuition. I'm using my connection. But in no way am I, or really any other integral reader, saying they hold the absolute God's truth. And if they are saying that, I would run for the hills because everything is filtered through our human perception, our human lens. And we can't really avoid that because we're human, right? So really being intentional about the tarot readers that you're watching, and also watching for, am I feeling after I watch a reading more empowered, or am I feeling disempowered? The messages that we're taking in should empower us. Now, if they don't empower us and we leave feeling confused, we leave feeling defensive, maybe that reader isn't right for us. And again, this doesn't mean the reader is wrong, or that the information, or that there's anything bad. It just means that for whatever reason, the message that's coming through isn't landing inside of you. And it is better to avoid those messages and that reader than to continue to show up in that and dig yourself deeper into a hole. Because here's the thing, everything is energy, right? And if we're listening to something and we're expanding and we're clicking and we're connecting the dots and we're, opening up and widening our perception, this is good. This is going to open us up to more opportunities, more growth, more abundance in our world. But if we're watching and we're closing down, and this is where oftentimes tarot channels, which I do not watch these tarot channels, that are obsessed with certain storylines and following certain storylines, can take our energy and can completely compress and deplete us. And when I talk about that storyline, there's some readers who are very much talking about twin flames and how your other flame is over here and it's just a matter of time before this happens, or your abundance, you're going to run into this massive abundance, right? Where these storylines are exciting and exhilarating to listen to, but then after it's like there's this open space of nothing, and we often will get hooked looking for more of that same thing that's feeding us and go downwards in that energy, because what that reader or that storyline is saying isn't occurring in our reality. The other thing is, it's okay to love a reader and not resonate with their messages. There are some readers who I think are incredibly talented. They're gifted. I can see they're actually connected to spirit. There's a lot happening for them, but just their messages and their frequency line aren't resonant to where I am on my journey. So they're resonant for other people and where they're at on their journey, but not for me. So it takes some strength to look at a reader and say, oh man, I really like you. Like, I really like you and I really want to watch these readings, but they're not in alignment for me at this time. Okay. And maybe at some point they will be, but don't watch someone just because they're captivating or just because they're really good at what they do. The messages have to stir something. And again, you guys, I'm speaking in have to, must, you need to. You guys understand that. Take whatever resonates for you and leave whatever doesn't. But these are serious things, because where we put our attention and our focus in any area of our life is what ends up being created in our world. So, there's, again, some readers that I just really, really like that I don't watch because I know that their readings aren't going to assist me in where I am on my life path and the direction that I'm going. So, and that's okay, right? Sometimes too, there's other readers that I watch that directly trigger me. And I know that these readers that directly trigger me are teachers for me. So when I say they trigger me, they're not triggering me because they're throwing crap at me or getting me to buy into a storyline that all these things are going to happen. But maybe they trigger me because they talk about wounds, right? Wounds that are still active or wounds that have come up. And those are the readers that I stay close to, because I know the power of working through the wounds. I know the power of digging into some of these places that are uncomfortable, right? We can call it shadow work. We can call it whatever we want. So that's what I have to say about tarot readings. And we're going to dig into the cards a little bit and see what Spirit, God, Source, Creator wants to share with us in terms of tarot readings. And yeah, let's just dig in. So, creativity. Absolutely. Creativity. There is something about the cards that allows us to tap out of ordinary reality and travel into different ways of perceiving. So not only do the cards allow us to look at archetypal energy and bring forward different expressions of a message, they also allow us to tap in deeper to our own creativity, right? When we look at a card, even though you're watching and I'm reading this, you look at that card and you feel all sorts of things, right? You feel things that are personal to you. Imagery is just as powerful, if not more powerful, to the subconscious mind than words. Imagery has the power to speak to us in a way that words cannot. They speak on a wider scale, and they speak to parts of us that aren't just the brain inputting information, right? There's more feeling. There's the spiritual connection to it. And tarot is a beautiful way to tap in deeper to that. So Spirit, please give me another one. The Messenger, right? Tarot and the Messenger, right? When we use intention and we allow a message to come through and we ask for a message specifically, we're going to get an answer. I truly believe, this is my opinion, this is not fact, that when we make a decision to connect and we make a decision to ask a question and we know who and what we're connecting to, we're going to get a response from the very thing that we're asking to connect to. Everything is energy. And we have to remember that the physical world isn't the only world. There is a spiritual world here. And most of us, a lot of us, just live our day-to-day world. If I can't see it, it's not there. But through tarot, we can utilize the power of asking questions, and we can also trust, right? There's something that happens in feeling the cards. You'll notice when I'm reading, I often will just feel a card and pull it, right? Because I'm asking the question and I'm connected to God's source, spirit, creator, and I can feel it. I can feel it and it pops out and I have the message, right? So even as I'm talking, I'm asking for the next card here. We have death. So what does tarot do? Tarot brings death to, if we have the courage to read tarot, listen to tarot, be seen as somebody who participates in tarot, there has to be a death to some of the patterns and conditioning that most of us have weaved within us. And I'm talking about the monotheistic religions for the most part, right? Most of us within our lineage, our DNA, our families have strong beliefs embedded into us about what tarot is, what connecting to spirit is, what using intention and magic is. So if we're somebody that decides to dive into tarot, there has to be a death to some of those judgments. And if we don't allow the death to those things, then we're going to be torn. And we're always going to be fighting with ourselves and even fighting with spirit, right? Because at the back of everything, we're going to feel this guilt or this shame that we're doing, the work of the dark one or whatever, right? So it takes a lot of courage to do tarot, especially if we have voices and we have beliefs that are deeply imprinted. And I sit here today reading tarot to you, not as somebody who's like, oh, no big deal, I don't feel anything. Yeah, I was Muslim for 5 years, and the tarot is viewed as something very bad. So I had to bring death to that part of me that was worried that this was something that was going to bring negativity to myself, to my family. Now, here's the thing. I can actually see demons with my eyes. I can see spirits in the physical realm. So I don't buy a lot of what people say, well, doing this will equate this because, well, I'm doing tarot and there's no demons around. I go into a church now and I see more demons in that space than I see anywhere else. So for me personally, I'm not worried about the evil part of it at all because it's not there. But I have been worried about what other people might think of me. I have been worried on, people that I really love and care about. And I know that religion and faith is important to them. And I know that they view this as evil or dark or whatever, right? So there has to be some sort of death that comes. And the death for me has come to this. If this is something that I'm passionate about, which I am, right? And this is something that I'm gifted at, which I am, then I have to take that risk of letting people decide If they want to view me a certain way, if they want to go down that road, fine. Kinfolk, fine. Because our true kinfolk will not deny us because of anything. Okay? So before we dive into the next part of the reading, I want to share something with you that is really close to my heart. And these are my soul dolls. Each one is handmade with intention and part of my healing and creative work. I hope you can see her. I also offer soul doll artist kits with video instructions so you can make your very own soul doll in the comfort of your home. Wherever you are in your journey, you have the opportunity to make one of these. If this speaks to you, you'll find the link below to an artist kit or a custom-made doll made by me for you. Now let's return to the cards and see what wants to come through. So I'm going to move to the tarot in this reading, okay? We're going to move right to the tarot. In regards to tarot, Spirit, God, Source, Creator, we are talking about tarot today. What do you have to say? The Hanged Man. So changing our perspective. So perhaps you're watching this video today and there's things that I've talked about that you're like, okay, right, maybe I am a little bit hesitant because I am afraid of how people might view me. Maybe I do need to shift how I look at tarot, right? Or maybe you're watching this and you're like, yeah, this is why other people are afraid of this, right? We have the Three of Cups. And the Hanged Man, Three of Cups, Ace of Cups. Wow. I feel like there is, if you're still here and you're watching this right now, you are having a massive opening. You're having a massive heart opening activation. The Three of Cups tells me that there's new, not necessarily new people, but new relationships in your life forming. And this is incredibly beautiful because it feels like this is a new way, that you're stepping into a new way of being, okay? I'm not sure where we're going with this, but we're just going to follow this because does this have to do with tarot? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. The Queen of Wands, magic, your magic. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Creating magic. So I feel like for a lot of you watching this video, your own gifts and your own expression is really coming online and you're ready. You're ready to stand in the fire. You're ready to be seen in whatever weirdness or woo-woo or interpretations other people may have of you. You don't really care anymore. With this Queen of Wands, I really feel this feeling of like, I don't care. I'm doing what I feel called to do. And this part of me, the Hanged Man, that used to care or censor or filter myself is gone. I'm done, right? I'm done. Woo. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, I'm done being bound. I'm done being bound by my own thoughts and beliefs about what other people think of me, okay? This Eight of Swords isn't about what other people are doing to you. The Eight of Swords is what you think other people are doing to you, right? What is binding you in your own psyche, your own consciousness, right? And this Queen of Wands is saying enough. Let's alchemize this stuff and be done. I feel like you're done. I feel like if you're watching this video, maybe this video is one of the things that's really helping you to say, okay, I'm done. I know this stuff isn't evil. I know that I'm connecting to, Spirit, God, Source, Creator. Again, you have to make sure you're connecting to what you want to connect to. This is important. Intention is important. If you don't be very specific about what you want to connect to, and you're just like, whoa, open like this, you're open to all of the spiritual world. And not all of the spiritual world, in my opinion, is good. Okay. It can really kind of mess us up. But if we're very intentional, whatever your word is, right? Is it God? Is it source? Is it creator? Is it spirit? Is it universe? Right? Again, I don't really like universe because universe is huge. And again, not everything in this universe is working with us. The Six of Pentacles, your service. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap up this video very shortly, but I like the Six of Pentacles as the closing for our video today, okay? Why? Because this is service to me. And you being comfortable and confident and intentional about how you interact with tarot is just one thing. But I really feel like for those of you here, you're going to take this out into your world, out into your service, and out into your offerings. This is a beautiful, and I'm excited, and I'm excited to put this video up for you to see. Please like this video, comment on it, tell me what was most impactful for you, and also let me know about how you're translating your gifts into the world around you. I'm so curious to know. Again, we're a brand new channel. Please subscribe to help us grow and also to build an aligned community. When you start off small in a community, it really has the power to grow into something connected, intentional, and something that everybody benefits from. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time, bye-bye.